Being a realtor is a roller coaster of emotions, and it's a roller coaster in your business too. Sometimes you have a busy season, and sometimes it slows down. And you have to figure out how to steadily keep growing your business and keep growing yourself, whether the market goes up and down, whether you have a lot of clients or not, and everything in between. What's up, guys? Lewi here. In 2020, when everything was going down with the pandemic, I remember very clearly listening to a few different kind of thought leaders that I follow: Ed Mylett, Andy Frisella, and Tony Robbins, for just three of them. But they were all preaching the same thing. In this time, when the world is kind of going chaotic, when we have no idea what's going to happen, when things are looking like they're going to slow down, it's not time to invest in the stock market. It's not time to invest in real estate. It's time to invest in yourself. And when I heard that from multiple people, I was like, there has to be something in this. So that's when I really made a pivot in my business. I went over to YouTube and really learned that process and built all that out. And I focused on another different couple of strategies. And because of that, as things started to open up in Colorado and Denver, where I am, when things started to progress, my business blew up because I was ready for it, because I had done the underlying foundational work that was ready to take on the market once it opened up again. So we're going to talk about that today, guys. If you have a slow season in your business, whether it's the market or not, or whether it's just, some things aren't working in your business, you don't have as many clients as usual, or you're just, a little bit freaked out about what the future may hold, we're going to talk about 5 things today that can help you in those periods to make sure that you're still working on your business, even when things seem a little bit slow. Okay, the first one we're going to look at today is your marketing strategy. Have you ever really looked at this in depth? A lot of realtors talk about their marketing, but don't really have a fundamental understanding of what that is. A lot of people think that being on social media is just marketing. Like, that's it. I'll just be on social media and I'll talk. But there's no actual, dedicated, focused message that you're putting out. It's just, hey, I'm a realtor. Hey, I'm at an open house today. Hey, I'm showing this home today. Hey, here's what the market's doing. That's great. Like, you're showing the business and stuff, but there's no message in there. So with your marketing, getting focused on a target demographic is key. So for Mackenzie and I, it's young families with kids. And that's our target demographic because that's who we are. We relate to those people. We go through the same pains as those people, the same joys, the same everything as that target demographic, because that's who we are. So our message is very, very easy to get across. Figuring out your marketing strategy in terms of like who your target demographic is, who your avatar is huge. I did a video with Mike Sherrard here that I'll put right here that we talk about that quite a lot. Really defining your brand, defining on who the people you're speaking to, like that is a key thing. And it's one of those ones where it takes a bit of time. It takes a lot of like deep diving, a lot of different exercises that you have to go through, and sometimes we just don't have time for that. So in a slow season, this is the number one thing that I would focus on so that when you come out, you're ready to crush. Okay, number 2 is networking and building relationships. Again, this is something that takes time, right? It's not like you can just go out there one day and build all the networks and relationships. It's a long period of time, but it has to be focused and dedicated. Again, kind of like your client avatar, like who are the people that I want to connect with? Who are the people that I need to make sure that I'm associated with, and start to build out those relationships. So whether that be the key connectors at your kid's school, maybe it's a chamber of commerce, maybe it's other agents, like you have to really figure out like where are the people that I need to connect with to grow my business. Some people, it might be like finding who I can find to be a mentor to me that I can kind of follow in their footsteps. Some things it might be like, okay, which charities can I get involved in to work with? It might be, sponsoring your kids' schools, building relationships with that. Like there's a ton of things that you can be doing to build up relationships inside your community. Easy ways to do this are like joining Facebook groups, joining meetup groups, just searching for things going on in your city that you can get involved in. The biggest thing for me, I find, is your passions. Like, what are the things that you love doing? Start getting involved in that, because that's the way that you can connect easily with people you speak the same language, and then you can help them when they need help. Most of my production business comes from a small jiu-jitsu gym that I'm a part of. I've been part of it for 10 plus years. And most of my business comes either directly from my training partners there, or referrals from them, because I've built those relationships up over time, that the know, like, trust factor is there 100%. and they have no problem referring me out because they know who I am, they know how hard I work, and know how much I'll take care of their friends. So building relationships and networks like that is key, and it's something that you can definitely do when you have downtime. Okay, the next one is expanding your skill set. Now, this is the one that really worked for me. Like I said, in 2020, that's when I switched over to YouTube. I was really looking at my business and I was like, what am I missing here? I'm missing a platform to get my message out, to talk to people, to show people what I'm all about. And that was like, okay, YouTube, this makes perfect sense to me. I was already on different social media platforms, but for me, social media, you scroll through something and that's the only time you're really going to see it unless you try and search for it again. But YouTube is there, it's organic, it's 24/7, it's a business card that's just waiting for people to find you. So YouTube for me was the big one. And it took time to learn that skill set. At the start, I was filming, I was editing, I was uploading, I was optimizing, I was doing subtitles, I was doing thumbnails, I was doing everything involved with the process. So it took me a long time to really figure out the game to where I'm at right now. And there's still a lot more room for improvement, but I got the job done because I was getting leads from it, clients from it. Now obviously I talk to a lot of agents through this channel. So building out a skill set of being able to present on YouTube was huge for me. And it's actually got me into public speaking things as well, because I'm so used to just flowing and having a conversation with this camera right here that talking to an audience or talking to other people or talking to agents is very, very easy for me to do. So that skill set now has translated into public speaking, presentations, and different things like that. So enhancing your skill set is huge. Okay, number 4 is organizing and streamlining your processes. Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's lean into this one a little bit, shall we? Now, what is this? So systems and processes, those are the kind of words that get thrown around a lot. Basically, the gist of this is looking at your business and figuring out, okay, from the start of a trigger point, what are the things I do to get to the next thing? So for instance, if you write an offer and go under contract, what is the process to get you to closing? Like all the things in between it, every single thing, every single email that you send out, document that you send out, phone call you have to make, like what does that look like? And if you can document it all, write it all down, that's when you actually have a process in place. And if you have a process in place, that's when you can start to outsource things. And the beautiful part about this is when you outline these things, you can see what holes you have in these systems and processes that you have to start filling in. And maybe it's drip campaigns and different things with your CRM. Maybe it's the way that you run open houses. Maybe if you're door knocking, it's the amount of time you spend at each door. So like building out and writing down all your processes for the things you do is a huge one, especially if you have time to dig into this and really start to optimize it. It's massive. We did a video, I'll put it right here, for the Pareto principle, right? Using ChatGPT to figure out what the most streamlined way to do things are in any kind of process. So you might want to take the things that you do and put it into that prompt in ChatGPT and start to compare it to what you have. Like I always say these days, AI, if you're not using it now in your business, you better start using it, because you're going to get left behind, because we're figuring out things so quickly that other people are getting left behind already. So make sure that when you're researching things, when you're dialing in things, when you're looking at your systems and processes, use AI to help you configure what you're doing. But if you get your processes dialed in for lead generation, for follow-up, for post-closing, contract to close, all these things, getting dialed in, it means that you have a complete process that you can always refer to, but more importantly, at some point, you can outsource it to a TC, a VA, whatever you're going to do with that, and then you can free up your time to do more money-making activities. And the last one, guys, number 5 is self-care. That's right, self-care. Whenever we're in a slow season, it can start to really mess with your head. You might be thinking, okay, I've got enough money to get me through like another month here, and then I need to figure this out. Okay, and you're putting this stress on yourself. It's easier to say than it is to do, but you have to detach from the outcome. If you take care of the work will take care of you. Ryan Serhant said that, and he's doing okay, right? So detaching from the outcome, self-care is a huge one. Again, outdoor, walking, working out, meditating, morning routines, building all that stuff in is massive for growing your business, because if your body, if your mind, if your spirit feels good, it's going to translate into your business. If you're stressed all the time and you're just feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, when you go to talk to people, network with people, meet clients, that's the energy that's going to come over, and it's going to be very, very difficult to convert that way. It's also going to be hard when you're building out systems and processes. If you can't think straight and think clearly, it's hard to get all this down on paper and start to work on it. All these things depend on your mental state. So self-care is paramount, especially in a down season, because that's when you have to build up the mental fortitude that you need to survive in this industry, whether the market goes up and down, clients come and go. If you have your mental game on point, you will be fine. So those are the 5 things that you need to be working on. If you are feeling down right now, if you have a lack of clients right now, if you're figuring out what's going on with the market, where it's doing all this, these 5 things are going to help you. Dig into them. If you have any questions on them, if you want to jam out about these things, drop a comment below. I'll chat with you anytime about this stuff. If you want to subscribe to the weekly newsletter, click it. We cover all this stuff every single week in the newsletter. And if you need anything else, just reach out, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.